AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back to Get Down to Business, and indeed, let's get back down to business. There is a bill, Illinois Senate Bill 110, the Surviving Spouse Amendment to the Standard Homestead Exemption for Disabled Veterans. It's in the Illinois House Finance Committee, and there will be a hearing held. It's been brought up year after year, and it's been stuck. It's a really important amendment, and as a currently serving reserve officer in the United States Army, I care deeply about this. That is why I have brought on Colonel Michael Peck, who recently brought this bill to my attention. Sir, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Sean.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on. So let's talk about the bill, and let's talk about some of your other advocacy work. Colonel Peck, tell us what this bill does and why is it stuck?
Well, it's stuck there because everybody's afraid of tax increases. This bill would affect less than 1,500 surviving spouses in Illinois, but it's hard to get representatives who've never been in the military and don't understand veterans issues to understand this bill. So we have the Illinois Municipal League and we have the Illinois Educational Association working against us, but we have over 82 proponents, and all these cover the major veterans organizations supporting us.
Absolutely, and good for you for the advocacy, and obviously we're going to have a call to action over here. We're going to need all of the friends of Get Down to Business that care deeply about this issue, because you should care about this issue. This affects those that have served, and again, Surviving Spouse Amendment. So we're going to have that call to action. But let's talk a little bit about some of your other advocacy work. I know that you have served in many capacities, both in Lake County as well as throughout the state. You have a meeting coming up in Springfield in just a few weeks. What are some of the success stories from the work that you have done?
Well, just 5 years ago is when we passed the standard homestead exemption for disabled vets. We never thought we'd get that through. But that was a bill that we got Senator Terry Link introduced, and it took 2 years, but we got the bill through. And what that bill does, it provides a homestead exemption for veterans over 70%. They pay no taxes if their homes are valued at less than $250,000, and then there's a $5,000 off at 50%. But that was a major accomplishment, getting that through. There's a bill currently going now, and it's Senate Bill 2293. And what that bill will do, it will allow guardsmen and reservists who have retired but don't have the active duty time to be admitted to the veterans homes. And we're going to spend $250 million on the veterans home in Quincy. So we might as well, let these veterans who've retired from the Guard and Reserve use it.
Absolutely, and I know that you have a couple of other bills, and we're going to squeeze in a lot of numbers over here, and we're going to post all of this information on my website, shalomklein.com, to make sure people can find it. You're also involved in Senate Bill, I believe it's 1256, I believe, which would transfer state veterans education benefits, and that's been introduced by Senator Mike Hastings. You have another bill on the table. Again, we talked about the veterans' homes. And you are also, I know, very involved in advocacy for the employer support for Guard and Reserves, which is such an important issue, which helps make sure that that those that are serving in the Illinois National Guard or in the Army Reserves, that employers are supporting and protecting those jobs. You've done a lot, both while serving as well as now retired. What keeps you going?
Well, it's just the fact that I'm taking care of those veterans who've taken care of us. I mean, a lot of my clients come to my office when I was superintendent for Veterans Assistance, and they said, Mike, why should I file a claim? I got both my arms and legs. I said, well, you don't file a claim for yourself. You file a claim for your family. And that's why I want to be protective of these surviving spouses and get the words out to them that they have benefits coming so that when the veteran passes away, the surviving spouse is taken care of.
Absolutely. So in particular, I want to highlight that this is the bill that you brought to my attention, that Illinois Senate Bill 110. And we need everybody to pick up the phone and call your representatives in the Illinois House. We need to get this out of committee. So Illinois Senate Bill 110, we need as much support as possible. I know since I heard about this last night, I've been working the phones and sending some emails and have already been assured some support. But we need the more the better. And there's a lot of other important issues that are clearly on the priority list. Colonel Michael Peck, you are involved with many organizations. How can people find out about some of these advocacy agendas and how they can get involved?
Well, obviously, I'm the vice chair for the Illinois Department of Veterans Affairs Advisory Council. And you can go to the IDVA website, and you can see some of the bills that we have listed there that the Advisory Council is recommending to the director and to the General Assembly. As I said, on the Advisory Council, you have all the big organizations, American Legion, VFW, DAV. They're all represented, and we're all trying to go out and get the support for what we consider our priority legislation.
Absolutely. And Colonel Peck, how long did you serve?
30 years, 6 active, 24 reserve.
So you certainly understand the sacrifice that those that are serving either on the active duty side as well as on the reserve components. And I know you spend a lot of time speaking to various ROTC programs to encourage and provide very valuable mentorship and advice. How's that experience been?
It's been great, but again, the ROTC cadets today, they don't realize or think about it, but we've been at war, in Afghanistan for 20 years. As a Vietnam veteran, it took us 8 years to get Agent Orange declared as a disability. And I go back when Lane Evans, my congressman, and I worked with Lane on that bill, and one thing Lane got through, too, was the Court of Veterans Appeals.
Sure.
Back in the early 70s and that, we had no appeal rights on claims.
Well, Colonel Peck, we're going to have to leave it there. We're going to have you back on to talk about those advocacy agendas. Colonel Michael Peck, thanks so much for all the advocacy that you're doing. Be sure, everybody, pick up the phone and make those calls. We'll be back and get down to business in a moment.
Did you miss the open enrollment?